So it's Wednesday the 9th of October, and the first thing to say is I went to the launch of Movember last night, and how amazing that whole movement is, and it's just incredible the work that they do, and just the whole impetus that's behind it. There were 1,400 people, I think, at the launch, and met some really fascinating people who've been through similar journeys to mine. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this is that I was reminded really of some of the things that I've gone through that I've forgotten to share with you, which are probably quite important if you're about to go through this or you are going through it. So I put a health warning on this video. If you don't want to hear about bodily functions, and I'm going to talk about all of them, and I mean all of them, then stop watching now and just wait for the next one to come out with my PSA results. I really think it's important to talk about this, and I'm going to talk openly and frankly. I remember being in hospital and after the operation having a catheter in, so my urinary needs were taken care of. However, I was really scared and I was full of wind, I have to tell you, after the operation. So if you feel like that, it's not unnatural. And I was petrified of breaking wind. And even worse, the thought of going to the loo in terms of bowel movements. Well, obviously after a couple of days I'd had food and I needed to go to the loo. So the best thing to do was, rather than have a laxative which would make you rush to the loo, which is really not a good idea, they gave me a couple of drugs that would break down what was inside me. But also, actually, do you know what? Prune juice. I haven't had prune juice since I was a kid, but do you know what? It did the trick. I had about a litre of that over a day or so, and it really did the trick. The next thing was to actually go to the loo, but be really careful, and I just let gravity take its course, and I really mean that. I didn't force it. I just made sure I was wide open and ready for gravity to do its business, and it did, and it was fantastic. And do you know what? Since then, actually, I've kind of let that carry on because I'm a bit nervous about pushing too much and any damage it will do. It won't now. It's over 3 weeks since I had the op, but it's no bad thing. I'm getting quite tired on a daily basis, and that surprised me. But then people said, well, you've had a major op, and I kind of forget that in a way. And you know, I've been getting a bit grumpy too, which I guess is okay. I don't like it, but it's just one of those things that's happening. I'm getting really frustrated at leaking urine. You know, I did a lot of pelvic floor exercises before going into hospital and since I've had the catheter out, but you just get this occasional leak. There's nothing, you cough and you suddenly feel there's a leak. You yawn, there's a bit of a leak. You stand up, there's a bit of a leak. And it feels much worse than it actually is. It feels like you're gushing torrents, you know, it's a little dribble, but it's frustrating. And it's one of those things that with time will get better, I'm told, and I just trust in that. Hilary, the nurse, told me it would happen. She was right. She's also told me it will get better. So that's one of the frustrating things. So I mentioned about the bowel movements. I mentioned about getting tired. I mentioned about urine. The next thing to talk about is erectile dysfunction. Well, I wasn't expecting great leaps in this area, and I'm not disappointed. Nothing's really happening in that area. It's very frustrating, or seems odd that I can't achieve an erection. You know, that's one of those things, again, that I think will come back in time. In terms of an orgasm, yeah, I've had one of those. It's very odd. It's dry. It's not quite the same sensation. It's a different sensation. It's still pleasurable. And it's one of those things you just have to keep, if you pardon the expression, keep working on it, I guess, and just keep trying it out and seeing how successful one can be. As I said earlier, if you're uncomfortable watching this, I did warn you at the beginning, then stop. I mean, because I don't want you to be upset by watching this, but I just feel it's important to share these real things that are happening to me as someone who's going through it. So I think my real message is, look, keep going. It's frustrating, it's tiring, sometimes it makes you a bit angry, you get a bit down occasionally. If I sound a bit down, I am a bit, to be honest with you, but I know there's an end to all of this. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, and you know, getting the all clear last week was fantastic. I've just got one PSA result to go, and I'm not building my hopes up too high, but I'm fairly confident it's going to be okay. I feel good about that. I'm slowly getting back into work and doing things, and that's, for me, the right way to do it. I've been trying, my feeling is to want to rush things, and I'm deliberately not doing that. I'm pulling myself back from doing that. Trying to eat well, trying to stay relaxed and chilled, and just resting a lot, much against my better nature. I really want to do things, but I'm just holding myself back. and really just looking after myself and listening to my body. It's important to listen to your body and what your body says. If it says it needs to sleep, sleep, or rest, or whatever you need to do. I don't intend to do another one of these until, as I say, after I've had my PSA result. I might if anything else comes up. Just a reminder that Movember, I've got a team going. I'm on Movember as David Kurk, it's K-U-R-K, and I'm Wasps Mobros is my team. Team members are going to start joining that soon, I hope. I'm getting the backing of the boys at Wasps, I hope. Without them, a lot of this would have been a lot more difficult. So I hope this is helpful. Paul, my mate, has had this last week, and he's just coming through. He's a couple of weeks behind me. I hope he's recovering well. And I just hope these are helping you at whatever stage you might be at in your journey on the prostate cancer route. Thank you again for watching. And again, thanks Movember. I can't wait to get into all of that. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll speak to you soon.